Why they hate me? One call, baby, they pull up with 50. Hey, bitch, you know I'm finna light it up. It's 2 a.m. What you mean is you sliding up?
Her song, he threw his life in that ditch. Cause I ain't know I
give a flying fuck. Cause I'm fly, what the fuck? Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. It's iRizzle. So I'm just gonna start off saying that I'm very skeptical about uploading this because while I was rewatching it, there's just things I'm not happy with. Like there's like a little ugly ass piece of lint that won't come out of my hair. Like my nose ring little thingy was sticking out for a lot of the video. But honestly, I'm over it. I've tried to film a first video so many different times. So today I'm just gonna show you guys how I do this like everyday go-to look. This is what I go to 100% of the time if I just want to go out in public and not look dusted, crusted, and busted. And I also ended up telling you guys about the time that I got drunk for the first time. So you guys are about to see me makeupless in the next clip. I'm exposing myself for being a catfish, but it's cool, it's whatever. I been knew this. New to you, not to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, my first step would definitely be foundation. I actually mix a couple of foundation to make my special catfish concoction. And I use this Born This Way foundation, which is way too dark. And then I use the Fenty Beauty, which is too light. See, there's a pretty big difference between the two, but you know, I change skin colors like so easy. I could go out in the sun for 30 minutes and come back dark as fuck. I mix the two. I just always mix it on the back of my hand. So I kind of decided that for this video, I didn't want it to be so much of a tutorial, but more of like a story time, chit chat, get ready with me type deal. So I'm just gonna think of whatever comes to my mind and whatever stories I can remember, I'm just gonna tell them. So I'm just gonna like start and then see where this goes. So on camera, it's going to look lighter. It's not gonna look at my skin at all. Yeah, also my skin looks a lot more red on camera. I don't know why. What? Whatever, we're gonna work with it, and at the end of the video it's gonna be okay. It'll be all right. Okay, sorry, I had to cut out really quick, but I just blended my foundation and I'm still going in. But I can talk about how bruh. Oh, hell nah. I did not mix this concoction right. It's okay. It's all right. We're going with it. Oh, this lighting kind of got me fucked up too. Okay. So I'm going to tell stories about how I used to sneak out when I was still in high school. Because I definitely had the strictest parent in the whole world. I could not do shit, bro. The most simple shit that nobody would even like second guess, I definitely could not be doing because my dad was really, really, really strict with me. Bro, I cannot be looking like this, bro. But you know what they say, right? Strict parents make sneaky kids. So no matter what restrictions I had, there was gonna be a way around for me to find different ways to be a badass kid regardless. Point blank, period. So basically what made it a lot easier was in high school, I had this friend whose parents were dope as fuck. Like so dope, so dope. They understood that my dad was like insane because he'd just be so crazy like for nothing. And so they kind of felt for me and they would help me sneak out. So I remember one day, it was my friend's birthday party. We were gonna like have, you know, alcohol, things of that sort, like a real party, not no carne asada that you're gonna invite your tias and tios over for. I wanna say this was like my sophomore year. I think that sounds right. I think my sophomore year towards the end. I told my dad that I was going and he took me. But from what he thought, he was under the impression that like it was just like a daytime, like we were going over to hang out at her house because it was her birthday type thing. So like I went over earlier in the afternoon, but really then I was just helping set up for the whole party and doing this, that, whoop-de-whoop. So I was like, oh yeah, dad, like it's gonna be over like at 9, like pick me up at 9. And then so 9 o'clock came around. And my dad was late, bro. For whatever reason, he wanted to be late that day. And I was stressing out because I think people were going to start showing up like at 10 or 10:30. I don't know. But the whole point was I didn't want my dad to come pick me up around the same time that people were showing up for the party. And like see people like showing up, like looking all ratchet, you know, booty cheeks hanging out, packs of beer. Yeah, so I just didn't want him to see that. Finally, my dad comes. And and he picks me up, right? And so I'm like, all right, Dad, like, you know what? I'm real tired, Dad. I'm finna go to sleep. I'm finna go to sleep. Like, good night. Gave him a kiss goodnight on the cheek. And then so I went to my room. At this point, it was probably like 10 or a little bit past 10. I don't really remember exactly. But yeah, so I don't think that'd be like that abnormal, but obviously there was like a really huge chance that my dad could have gone into my room to see like, he would always go in my room for some dumb shit, bro. Like I would just be chilling in my room on my bed watching some shit, like probably Netflix or something, and he'd walk in and he'd just be like, what are you doing? And I look at him like, bro, obviously I'm just laying here watching Netflix. Like, why are you asking me what I'm doing? But that's the type of shit that he would do for no reason. He would just come into my room to check on me. So that could have easily happened, but I was like, fuck it. Like, if I get caught, I'm getting caught. That house that I lived in, my window was directly on the main street in front of my house. And it had no screen on it. And so it was really easy to go in and out of that window. And so I just hopped out and we went and then I went back to my friend's house with my dad still thinking that like I'm in my room being a little angel asleep. And so long story short, at the party, I want to say that was the first time I had been like drunk. And like, but how could I not? It was at my best friend's house and my best friend's birthday. Like, how could I not do that? And so I definitely was chugging lots of UV. Definitely, I know, pussy shit, whatever. But I was a sophomore, come on. I will still chug UV. I don't give a fuck. It tastes good. You will never catch me chugging tequila. None of that. I do not. Girl, no. So I ended up drinking quite a bit. And also keep in mind, I am not any type of heavyweight. Like, it does not take that much to get me feeling some type of way. So when it was over, I was really drunk. And then her mom was like, all right, Rizzle, like, you ready to go home? And I'm just like, yeah. She called me Rizzle. Or she called me Rizzle. And so I was like, yeah. And so it was finally time for me to go home. And I had to hop back in my window. That shit was hard. Okay, my window was honestly like, it was like right here to me. Definitely like at my stomach. And so I had to give myself a little hop. Like I had to turn my boosties on. So I remember I opened my window. It takes me a few hops to get at least like my front, like my top half of my body on like inside my room, because right next to my window was some drawers. They're probably like this wide, so it kind of gave me some room to like lay on, you know what I mean? And so I hopped on that dresser, and when I went to bring my leg in, bro, I had this like this metal lamp. It was a stainless steel metal lamp, and it fell on the tile and it made the loudest noise ever. Like boing, like that shit was echoing. And my house my house echoes, or my old house, it echoed a lot. And so I was just like, fuck. And so I didn't even pick that shit up. I just closed the window and I just like hopped into bed and didn't even change or anything, just in case like my dad came in and heard it. And so I could just be like under the covers like that. Now that I think about it, there's no way, because my grandma lived with me at the time. And her room was right next to mine. So there's no way that my grandma did not hear that loud ass bang. But I feel like even if she did hear it, she wouldn't have said nothing, because my grandma low-key was with the shit. She knew my dad was crazy. Like, that's what's up, grandma. Thanks for having my back. And so, yeah, I don't think she would have said anything regardless if she heard it or not. And so, yeah, that night, I remember I just laid down in my bed. And, like, the moment I laid down, I felt like, you know how, like, when you go to an amusement park and at the end of the day, you lay down in bed and you feel like you're still moving. You feel like you're probably in an ocean or something. I don't know, but I was laying in bed and I felt like I was swaying. And that was the first time I had ever felt that. And so I was just like, bro, like, what is this? And since I was laying, like, I was staying still, but everything around me felt like it was moving. And so I started to get sick. And I was just like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to throw up right now. And so I just try to fight it, and I just try to go to sleep. All right. This is probably one of the things I'm most ashamed of. Or just like, it's just dusty, crusty, musty of me. I woke up on the left side of my bed, facing, okay, so my bed was up against a wall here. Here's a wall, here's my bed, here's me. And so I'm facing with my back against the wall, so I can't see what's behind me. And so I wake up, and it's early as fuck, by the way, because I had to go on vacation that day. I was going with my mom's side of the family, and we were flying somewhere in Mexico. And so I woke up, you know, fine. I'm like, oh, like, I feel fine. Honestly, was still a little bit dizzy because I had not slept for that long. I probably woke up like at 7:30 in the morning, maybe 7. And so what happened was, I thought everything was fine, whatever. I'm still dizzy, whatever. I didn't feel hungover, which I was really excited about because I was really thinking that I was going to be hungover. I got drunk for the first time. And so I get up and, like, I sit up in my bed, and then I turn around and I look at the side of the bed that I wasn't laying on. Bro, it was disgusting. I don't even want to say this out loud. I don't even want to admit this because it's so, like, okay. So I woke up and next to me was throw up. I had thrown up in my bed and not even realized it. Bro, I could have died. I could have choked on my throat or something. I hope none of my family is watching this because they will get on my ass. But I real life could have died, and I didn't even think about that until, like, a lot later. Oh, by the way, I'm just putting on some blush. And I didn't think about that until a lot later. But I real life woke up with throw up next to me in my bed. And I was tripping out because I must have been awake when I threw up, but probably just didn't remember throwing up because, like, it was not on me. I didn't throw up on myself. It wasn't on my clothes. It wasn't in my hair. Like, it wasn't on, like, my face. It was just in this pile on the other side of my bed. The fact of the matter is that shit was disgusting. And so I'm waking up and I'm kind of in a hurry. Like, I got places to be. And so I get up and I start walking to my restroom. I didn't make it to the toilet, but I got sick again. And then I threw up as I was walking to the restroom. Like, kind of in the restroom, but not in the toilet. I threw up all over the sink. Like, all over my sink. That's when the hangover started kicking in, and suddenly I felt like my stomach was turning. I was low-key, like, kind of panicking, and I had to clean it up really quickly because I did not want my dad to know that I was throwing up, because my dad's not stupid. I don't know how, but my dad knows everything. So I knew my dad was gonna know something was up. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, if he sees any of this, either he's gonna think, okay, well, she's throwing up in the morning. Either A, she's pregnant, B, she definitely went out last night. Like, there's no reason for me to be throwing up in the morning. And so I'm in bed editing, and I'm realizing that I didn't even mention that me and my dad got sushi. So when you hear me using sushi as an excuse, just know I forgot to mention that. He was waiting for me at the car. I had cleaned everything up, got my stuff, put it in the car, and he was like, "Did you throw up this morning?" And I was like, "Yeah, I threw up." "You saw that?" Like, "What? You saw that? That's crazy." But yeah, that was me. He was like, "Oh, well, why'd you throw up?" And I was like, "Damn, Dad, like, that sushi really got to me last night. I don't know, your stomach's not hurting?" "What?" I was like, "Dad, for real, your stomach's not hurting?" "Bro, that sushi got me messed up." And so I just convinced him that it was the sushi, and that's why I threw up, because that's really believable. You can get bad fish anywhere, anytime. Like, that's not that rare. And so whatever, I went to my mom's side of my family. What we were doing was we were like flying out of this airport in TJ, and so they have friends in San Diego, and our flight was a red eye, so it wasn't until we didn't take off till 1 in the morning. And so I had to spend the whole day in and out of the car and in and out of like airports on the plane, like hung over as fuck. Hung over, all the way over. That was me. And I didn't eat nothing, I didn't drink nothing, I was just hunched over. Because everyone kept asking me what was wrong, and I just kept saying, "Damn, that sushi really got me last night. That's crazy." I slept on the plane, and I woke up, and I was solid. I was good to go again. And so yeah, that's the story of my first ever hangover, and basically my first time getting drunk. And by the way, I usually always carve out my brows. I've been through some terrible ass brow phases in my life. If you knew me freshman year, sophomore year, junior year, my shits were fucked up. It took some time to get to a decent shape, and I'm not even gonna flex like my brows are all crazy and all that, but they're definitely not as bad as they used to be. So up next would be highlight, and I don't like to use that much just because I feel like I'm an oily person, and adding too much highlight just makes me like look really oily. And I also like to go right here. I don't know why, that's just something I do. And on my nose a tiny bit if I'm feeling it that day though, because I don't really be liking that all the time. But when I'm done with that, I would definitely move to eyelashes. And so my go-to mascara would be this L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. So this right here gets them like all the way to my eyebrows. So yeah, that's what my eyelashes look like with mascara. I'm just gonna use this NYX Lingerie liquid lipstick. And for this will make your lips look like the Sahara Desert. Like if you have any type of crack, anything on your lip, this is gonna have it show. So I like to use it with chapstick underneath, which I already have on. And I don't even care that like it's not all the way matte or it doesn't last as long, because I'd rather have my lipstick not last as long than look like I have the motherfucking Grand Canyon on my lips. Because that's how cracked it makes your lips look. I promise you. Okay. That is basically all that I would do for my really simple go-to easy makeup. I could probably knock all this down in like 10 minutes when I'm really just like going and not talking. And also my shirt is actually from one of my friend's new clothing line, Something Soon. So if you guys want to check out his Instagram, I'll put it in the link down below. Like, subscribe, follow my socials, all that if you feel like it. All right, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll be uploading sometime soon. All right, bye.